I'm Theresa V, and this is the place to be if you are a sensitive empath who wants to feel more alive in this amazingly beautiful world. Each month, I check in with the beloved archangels to see what advice they have that can help us navigate the energies of the coming month. And this month, they're extending us more of an invitation than anything else. Stay tuned. Our angels want us to understand that the season of light makes it so much easier for us to access the divine. It's the time of year where almost every soul on the planet is experiencing lighter spiritual energy in some way. Even if it's just the lighter energy of joy that comes with seeing the world and the experiences around this time of year through the eyes of children. We really do a lot of work to strengthen our connection with the divine throughout the year. We're involved in our practices, and we're making sure that we're living in ways that speak to the energy that we want to bring, the person we want to evolve into. And that is the most amazing thing about this community. And the angels want us to understand how much simpler that can get. Very often when we move into meditation, whether it's a walking meditation or we sit for meditation or we sit for contemplation, we spend all of our time and energy trying to empty the mind, push things out, get rid of them, and then we beat ourselves up when the thoughts come in. Maybe we have a list of rituals that we need to complete before we are even worthy to sit on our meditation cushion. And this can be very useful a lot of the time, especially in the beginning of our journey. It really gets us into moving all of the energy, moving all of the obstacles so that we can sit in as much peace as possible. And at the same time, our angels want us to explore potentially a different avenue, to explore something that's available to us all the time throughout our day. And that is simply to empty ourselves. And the angels really want us to understand this one universal truth. The truth that when we empty ourselves, when we let go of the worries, the concerns, the thoughts, the feelings, whatever it is, when we empty all of that and become like empty bowls, that is when the divine will come and fill us up. Whenever there is emptiness, the divine will meet us there and fill that space. And so in this season of light, when we can much more easily access that place of spirituality, we can access that energy of lightness, of flow. This is almost a shortcut for those of us who have a regular practice. The angels are extending the invitation for us to empty ourselves of everything that doesn't serve in the moments that we want to connect with the divine. I know in my past experience, in my indoctrination, there was a saying, the idle mind is the devil's playground. And that is something that prevents a lot of people from being willing to meditate, from being willing to be in contemplation. The concept that this means emptying myself out and then something can come in and take over. My thoughts can come in and take me down a rabbit hole to someplace I don't want to go. I might discover something inside of myself that I don't want to see. These are all of the resistances that come up. And the angels want us to know that the exact opposite is true. The universal truth is that where there is a hole, where there is emptiness, the divine will come and fill that space. And the reason that saying started in the first place is because when we attempt to empty our minds so much of the time, those old tapes of negative thoughts, negative feelings, ways of speaking to ourselves, when we put ourselves down, or are ways that we would never ever speak to somebody else, Those things come in when we try to empty ourselves out. And when we don't catch them, we spin in that cycle of thoughts and feelings in that lower vibration of energy. And when we sit in that lower vibration of energy, we attract energies like it. So we see this in our day-to-day life. If we are not carrying as high a vibration as we want to carry, then that day might go a little bit differently than a day where we are able to be in a higher vibration. It's the law of attraction. What we put out is what we attract. And that's where this idea of the idle mind is the devil's playground came from. It's because we're sitting in that lower vibration, so we're attracting lower vibration energy. But that's not emptiness. Those are thoughts. Those are loops of energetic vibration that play over and over. When we seek to free ourselves from the shackles of the mind, from the shackles of thought, from ideas, and we just move into the being, the human being, the beingness of our nature. We open ourselves like that empty bowl, and the divine comes to fill us up, to meet us where we are. That doesn't mean that the mind still won't have thoughts when we seek to empty. We have to be really conscious of those thoughts. And if they come in, we need to presence ourselves to them instead of trying to push them away. Let them show themselves to us. And when we don't resist, when we can sit with that thought and allow it to be, it will evaporate. Just notice it. No judgment, no criticism. Allow it to be what it is. Breathe into it. Breathe and let it go. And if it comes back again, do the same thing. Let your presence be with it, because your presence is what will allow them to feel that they've expressed. They can move on now that you've paid attention to them and given them the time and space that they wanted. The amazing thing is that over time, when we pay attention to the thoughts, when we allow the mind to do what it does and just sit without judgment, it releases the need to bring so many thoughts. It releases the need for that chaos. It grows to understand that this is a time and a place where it is safe to let go, where it is safe to open itself and to allow something greater, something bigger, something beyond comprehension to come in and fill, to come in and take the lead. If you find for any reason that you're having physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual resistance to this idea, start with a mantra, start with a prayer, start with reading a passage that speaks something to you. Begin with an object of meditation. Repeat something over and over. Maybe it's Om Namah Shivaya. Maybe it's So Hum. Maybe it's Christ Be My Light. Whatever it is for you, go with that. You can even have a visual. You can have something that you gaze upon that takes your attention there. Begin there. But when your mind starts to let go of that object, when you're gazing upon something and you feel the need to close your eyes and go within, when the mantra becomes something else or just disappears into the ethers altogether, allow that to be. Don't try to bring yourself back. Allow yourself to release the mantra, to release the prayer, to release the visual, so that you can be present with the divinity that is coming in at that moment. Just be with it. Just breathe with it. Just allow it. This is perhaps the most powerful form of meditation, this empty state, when we can get there. The reason being, we are in total surrender. We have allowed God, the divine, to come in and completely fill us up from within, to show us, to guide us, to bring the thoughts and visions. So our angels are extending the invitation, especially when the world is in such a state of shift, when so many are in need, when there is so much illusion and upheaval. Our angels are inviting us to move into this state of openness, this state of surrender to the light, to the divine, so that we can establish that connection, so that the divine can fill us up from the inside, and that we have easier access to that connection all the time. Instead of moving into the movement, the frenetic energy, the craziness that comes with the holiday season, when you're tempted to go that way, take a step back. Move into the stillness. Move into the emptiness and the openness. Let the light of the season, let the light of the divine fill you. And then take your movement from there. Let that light that has filled you guide you to what comes next. You will be amazed at how much that seemed really important falls away, because you begin to see the world through the lens of truth. It becomes easier to let go of illusion or other people's expectations or judgments, and just be present with what is truly important to you and not to anyone else. When there is a moment of emptiness, of silence, notice if you seek to fill it with something. If you seek to find a video to watch, or a book to read, or a scripture to be with, none of those things are wrong. In fact, if you're here, you're probably bettering yourself constantly by doing things like this. And at the same time, our angels are inviting us to notice our motivation, to notice the why. Are we seeking to fill that emptiness with something? Are we seeking to fill that space? Are we perceiving that space as a void, as the feeling that something's missing? And if so, what is that thing? Can we surrender that space, that emptiness, to the divine? Can we extend the invitation to the divine to be with us this season of light, to be in us, to fill us up? This is what the world needs more than anything else. It needs people who are willing to let go at that level, who are willing to be the light, who are truly willing to face the emptiness, to be with it, and to see it as an opportunity to allow grace to come into their life, to come into their vessel, to come into the world. And our angels are asking, are you willing to be that vessel of light and grace this holiday season and beyond? This feels really complete from our angels for now. Thank you, as always, for sharing these videos out far and wide with all who need these messages from the angels. If you would like to be the light and the grace in a more comprehensive way, I invite you to consider receiving energy work that will help you do just that every single day via the membership. And if you would love to spend an afternoon with the angels in a small, intimate group setting where they will offer their wisdom and readings to all who gather, consider attending the Next Angel Experience, happening on December 5th. These small group gatherings leave all who attend speechless and feeling loved and held, seen and understood by their angels and by each other. I look so forward to supporting you in either of these ways. Information about both can be found in the link in the description of this video or in the comments section below. I'm wishing you a beautiful season of light, and I look forward to supporting you in so many ways in the coming months. I can't wait to connect with you again soon. Bye, everyone.